We're live. Well, on the radio anyway. YouTube starting. There we go. Hi and welcome to Shooting Shit episode 148. That's the one. On time this time. Right on time. Because everything is working, I think. So, like, I'm going to see if I can zoom in to the thingy thing that I've got up. Let's see. Is it control? So that doesn't work. There you go. You might be able to read that. I don't think so though. Nah, not really. Hasn't really made much of a difference on the scene. But anyway, that's the page that it's on if anyone wants to know. With the thing that we're going to do, maybe zoom out a bit. Make it no, I don't think it's making a difference on the stream. I'm not really sure. Might be. 200's too much. 270. There you go. Maybe you can read it, maybe you can't. But doesn't matter because we're on radio anyway. So
yeah. I'm gonna end up reading it. I wanted to give Deus a little bit of time because I like a thing letting him know that he's noisy and we are live now.
Yeah, we'll sort this out. But you can. Do you want to start off with the thing that happened here? And you did ask this guy to come on to defend himself, but he didn't.
I did. He didn't.
Well, we'll get into that.
He agreed to. He was like, fine. What's the name of your radio show, bitch? Like is what he said or whatever. But he was gonna come on, but then I think he like realized that this was legit and was like, oh fuck, like it got too real for him.
Well,
and he backed out.
Well, we'll go into it, right? Because his reply was a bit, what? So I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand the reply and why he said no, because it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to me, like at all. So there is that.
Deus, are you there now? Cause like he's not as noisy now.
Have you unmuted him?
Yeah, he doesn't have the big noise.
Maybe he's not there. Is everyone else there? Everyone else is muted. Why is everyone muted? Did I mute everyone? I think I muted.
Way to go, cat.
Yeah. There we go. That's better. Someone is there.
Yeah, that's Nafal.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I muted you by mistake. I basically muted everyone. I think.
I'm gonna turn Nafal volume down just a bit. Kind of noise loud.
Apart from you, because you're an admin, so it doesn't affect you, because you're like.
Aha.
Yeah.
I'm special. I'm a snowflake.
Yes. So
if I could raise the volume a bit here.
I got you I got your show on, so that's up on the website.
Oh, cool. Yeah, nice, right? How was it?
I don't know. I've not listened to it. I was too busy.
Cool.
I noticed the two shows that I was meant to put up I didn't put them up, so I had to do that as well as yours, and it was like, oh shit.
It's cool, dude.
Yeah, I shouldn't have had. I've missed 2 weeks worth of shows for myself, and it wasn't until I put up your show I noticed. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, what have I done? So right, it's all sorted now though, guys. So if you want the YouTube people that were getting like half an hour show and they couldn't get the rest, now you can get the rest because I fixed it. So anyway, do you want to start this
Yes.
thing.
So let's see.
I'm gonna do like some background information.
Yep.
So that everybody is kind of aware, just a little rundown of things. So this is Channel Awesome.
Oh, I've heard of them. They're based in Chicago.
Whatever. And the Nostalgia Critic, I watch him sometimes. I kind of like his take on music. I also like Mr. Medicare's thing on the whole everybody.
That guy with glasses.
Yeah, that guy with glasses and everything.
Everyone.
That was funny. That was funny.
It is. Especially how he roasted Linkara.
Oh my god, Linkara got so roasted. It's hilarious.
Oh my god, yeah. Poor Lewis. Met him at the con.
But anyway, so this is the thing. So on, like a little bit last year or something, they have he came out with a little YouTube video that is like, is whitewashing really still a thing? And I made a comment on it, and just my own comment, so not commenting on under anybody.
It's quite big.
With this one, yeah, it got quite big, yes.
No, the actual whole comment is like an essay.
My first comment?
Yeah, this one.
Oh, medium size for a YouTube comment. About medium sized YouTube comment here.
Is it? Is it? It's usually.
Yeah, it would be considered medium sized YouTube comment, and then like if you took the very first paragraph, then that would be maybe a small YouTube comment, or just kind of maybe a regular one, and then they have super small ones with just like a few words.
I don't know.
Could be medium, and then there could be really large. Oh my god, I have seen some friggin' essays on here.
Okay.
Like no joke.
Like the ones I see are usually about 2 or 3 sentences, and they're big. Yeah. The rest of them are just like, "I'm first, faggot. How big's your dick?" It's like.
It also depends on what you're commenting on. If you're commenting on something more controversial or political, the comments get bigger, kind of stuff like that usually. But my first one is just like, just because something happened in the past doesn't mean you should try to even it out by throwing people of color into roles that were white people. And I was like, now as long as it's true to character, I don't mind a new take. But what I hate is absolute hypocrisy, and I have to then judge the new character pick based on absolute hypocrisy. It kind of makes me dislike the movie. I mean, should all the white people start giving money and property to black people because some were once slaves? Should we start handing out Oscars because a person is black because of past events? And if anything, this should be more insulting to black people and other minorities. I also think that there are plenty of heroes that are of different races that I wonder why not bring out that one instead of ... blackwashing LOL.
Okay, I've got a thing about this, right? This whole thing.
Economically viable.
Let me finish the first one. I was like, I don't feel like a black person should be forced in a role of a white person just because they might have had ancestors that were once slaves. I want a good pick for the role. If it's a good pick for the role, it isn't whitewashing. If it's a good pick for the role, I won't care as much about the skin tone. This can vary though. Like if the character's skin tone is. If the skin tone is relevant to the character, I think, that plays a better part, but this isn't including that. I was like, also, if there are still more white people in America than other skin tones, so more white people might end up in movie roles. It's also good to note that some people being upset is not because they're racist, but because a well-known character was changed drastically. That's basically my whole first little comment that I made under this video.
Yep.
I got a couple of comments under that.
Yep.
And from one other person, and I basically, one of the things that I said was a reason why is that directors or whatever are going to pick the best person that they think for that role. The best person that fills that role to them.
Right, you wouldn't...
Very subjective, but that's basically my thing, that this is...
Like, if it's based on a book or something, and the book describes the guy as a white Western guy, then why the fuck would you cast anyone else apart from a white guy?
Well, yeah, that could go for black too. But if you
exactly.
And the thing is that like there's been traditionally white characters that are casted as black. If you read the books, actually, Percy Jackson, and you watch the movie, Grover, one of the characters is like white in the book, but they cast him as a black person in the movie. So, there's that. So it's not like it doesn't happen, and I don't.
Yeah,
and
but
sometimes a change like that.
would that not be blackwashing though?
Campy, depending on if the person plays a good role.
Would that not be blackwashing though?
Yeah, and just like they had with the Fantastic Four, they had a traditionally white character cast.
Yeah, that was the fire guy.
The problem with that is it completely dismantles the whole point of the Fantastic Four, which is you have Johnny and Sue Storm, you have Mr. Fantastic,
They're supposed to be brother and sister, and
exactly, right?
I was really confused.
That's the entire point.
If you were going to cast as a black person as like Johnny Storm, you should have changed Susan Storm to a black person.
Well, well, pretty much, yeah, that would have made sense.
Yeah, but they're retarded.
Exactly, that's the point. It's not based.
It's a token.
The thing that rankles, and obviously, Kat, it wouldn't be blackwashing because the whole point. This is the thing.
I'm taking
the
piss.
Whitewashing is being used as if the attempt is to.
I know.
Is really what it means is to basically, we're going to blot out this piece of knowledge, right? And
yes.
That's not.
I know.
It's not really a suitable term.
I know, but these people. Look, these people are retarded.
It's not a suitable term, which is why I put LOL next to saying it, of course. But
listen, whitewashing doesn't mean what they're using it as, right? I know.
Yeah, well, pretty much, yeah.
I know, right? But
that's the implication.
The implication of whitewashing is you say you deny the Holocaust and you say that the fine.
The implication, because it has the implication that which has been stated by people. All right, the entire point of doing this is to make you forget about Asian people and other minorities. It's like you're literally erasing them because that's how people take this. It's like, you watch this film and you forget about Asian people existing or something.
No, I don't. If you want, no, listen, right? There's also the thing that, right, but there's also the thing that Hollywood is based in America, which is basically mostly white people. By an overwhelming percent. No, right? Yeah, but listen, Bollywood. If you go to Bollywood,
nothing else matters, right?
Listen, if you go to Bollywood, is there any white people in Bollywood?
If the recent events show anything, these are not paragons of fucking virtue.
No,
right? It's not people who are morally upstanding citizens. These are sort of things the right wing have been saying for years that have turned out to be completely 100% on the money. That Hollywood says. Don't have scum and villainy.
No, but
basically,
right. But that's not my point. My point was if you go to Bollywood, right?
They care if appearing to do something, like if they say, "Oh, this is the first insert minority, insert sexuality, insert that there first ever," even if it's not. So you keep on getting, "Oh, Black Panther's the first black superhero movie." It's I remember Blade. I saw Blade in the cinema. Fuck you. It was an awesome film, and it's much better than this other shit you're producing these days.
Blade is one of the best films ever made. Blade and Blade 2. Blade 3 was kind of meh.
They had there's a bunch of black superheroes. There was Meteor Man, I think called. There was Spawn. There was Blade. All these black.
Well, the thing is, obviously they all had they all had films based on them. The problem was they're all shitty ones. Really, but Blade was a major one. It was an incredibly popular movie, right? Popular enough to get 2 sequels, right? But it's completely whitewashed from history, ironically, because it's just conveniently forgotten about when it comes to how part of your marketing campaign is. It all comes down to it's got nothing to do with the facts, right? None of this is to do with any factual content as to why things actually happen. It's a simple matter of, do we think doing this thing is going to get more people to watch it or not? Yeah, so there's a similar thing.
Why they have some of the picks that they they do in Hollywood, which is said in this movie and said later on. I only bring up in the first little section of this with this one person. I only bring up one thing, which is directors are going to pick the person that they like
they don't,
for the role.
see, but that really depends.
They do, though. But
no, it really depends. Right, but this is the thing. It depends. See, that's where it gets so complicated because it really depends what type of movie you're talking about. If it's like the directors, if you're someone like Brett Ratner, right, you're basically a hired gun, right? You're not actually the one controlling the shots. You'll be told, gotta have this scene in there, gotta have that scene. The studio execs have already decided. It's like here's a paint by numbers movie. Go and do the painting. Basically, that's what it comes down to. Rather than an old auteur like fucking Stanley Kubrick, who really is like, you're gonna do this fucking thing my way, or am I gonna stomp off like the crazy artistic genius I was?
Obviously, it's not the only reason. It's just the first one I listed and talked about. But also, there's the star value. So you're gonna put.
Well, that's all part of the marketing, right?
Yeah, you're gonna put people in seats, and in a lot of the time, you're not whitewashing. You're just picking a highly liked white star to star in this movie to appeal to Americans, and if they don't appeal to Americans, it's going to appeal to a world audience.
Well, if anything, it would be China you'd be going for. And actually,
now it's China, yeah.
Excellent choice, excellent movie. I say excellent movie, excellent choice of movie. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know if it's any good. But there was the Wall. That was what's his name, Matt Damon, and a bunch of Chinese people.
That movie was really weird.
I mean, it's set in China. That will play well in China, right? I haven't seen the film, so I don't know if it's any good.
It's okay.
And China actually likes a lot of white stars.
I have seen that movie, and I can tell you that it got all the tropes of like the Chinese kung fu type movies, the wire shit, and it's got like lots of like fantasy spells and all this shit and monsters and shit.
Sounds good to me. It reminds me. I just watched.
And it's basically
Ronin, because it was on the other day.
It's
and that's got Keanu Reeves, and that does all that sort of mystical.
It's basically that, but
I love that shit. I love that shit.
It is that. Yeah. It's basically that, but the Great Wall of China was built to keep these monsters out. That's basically what it is.
Well, that actually sounds very similar to Pacific Rim, which I understand did very well as well.
Yeah, the Great Wall of China in this story was built to keep the monsters out, and when the Western guy goes, they're actually searching for the secret of gunpowder, right? Because they're pirate. Well, he's not a pirate. He's a bit of a rogue, right? And he's with his guy, his buddy. They go in to try and find this gunpowder stuff because they didn't have it and they wanted to know how it works because they were going to use it for something to rob shit, because that's what they do. They wanted to blow up shit with this stuff that they heard about, this mystical powder, which is gunpowder. Yep. Then he basically gets, when he's in that place, the shit hits the fan, the monsters attack the wall, and that's basically it. That's the concept. And then basically he starts helping them out because he fancies this chick that was nice to him.
The love interest.
And that's all it is. It's basically he helps them defend the wall, and he's quite good at it because he's a shithead.
But if it's entertaining, I don't really give a shit.
No, it's really entertaining if you like explosions and the Chinese fantasy jumping about and stuff like that. It's quite they've got a whole squad of women, which was fucking awesome. So yeah, it's good. It's a good fighty, kongy fu fantasy movie thing.
Maybe I'll have to see it. I haven't seen it at all either.
But it's really got fuck all to do with the Great Wall of China, apart from.
Oh, of course.
I didn't look at the trailers going, oh, right, they got monsters and there's the Great Wall of China, thinking, that seems like that's a historical drama, yeah.
No, but do you know what I mean? It's
I wasn't expecting a historical drama, Cat. from the trailers. And
No, but I remember hearing people going, "Oh, they're going to do a historical drama thing about the Great Wall of China, and this Western guy's going to be there," and it's like,
there were a
what?
bunch of Mongols. They built a really huge wall. It took a really fucking long time. It's so fucking huge. There are little stop-off points where like there's actually like a mini little. It's like keeps. It's like basically if you connected all the castles and keeps in the United Kingdom together, that's essentially the same thing, right?
Yeah, this
Although it'd be
movie.
a very pointless fucking exercise in England because it would be like a complex series of walls that just get in your way and don't really defend you from anything.
Yeah, well, this movie sort of goes. The reason they spent all this fucking time and effort and years on this wall was to keep out these big fucking monsters, and they're like, yeah, that actually makes sense. Like, I would do that too.
Except for it doesn't, because what about the rest of Asia?
Well, you know what I mean. Fuck them.
Europe, for fuck's sake, right? All
They're
the continents fucking connected.
No one cares. They're fucked.
No one cares about Europe.
Yeah, no, look, we need our wall to keep the bastards out, and we don't really care what you do.
For fuck's sake, they could get in. Literally, if it's just like China, they got a coast behind them, fine, they build their wall, right? They literally got the whole rest of the European and African and Asian continents connected that they could get onto, including the subcontinent of India. So they're not really. I don't know why they're bothering the Chinese so much, and why nobody else seems to be that bothered. It's like surely this guy would have heard about them boarding across, like, a privateer, presumably is from England.
They only
right?
attack.
He's going to be speaking in English. I don't imagine he's not a Frenchman.
Actually, no. The movies.
He must know about these rampaging monsters on the other side of the channel.
The movie's actually in both languages.
England doesn't have to go to war with the French anymore because they got these fucking great big creatures eating them.
No,
we just leave them to it. It's fine.
Yeah, well, they leave the two languages in there, so you've got.
We got like sidetracked onto this movie, but I haven't even started with his very first comment. Anyway,
right,
so I only mentioned.
Let's stop the sidetracking and just get on with the meat.
I already meant. So far this. Just a rundown, I just mentioned the one thing about, directors, and if you want to get really specific, casting directors, and they'll pick somebody that fits the role that they think. Now, this person, you might not think they fit the role, and you might not personally think that this person is a good actor, but, whatever.
I think we should get on to the retardation.
It's all subjective, and it's a personal opinion. Now, which I mentioned. Now, this person comes in, all right, and he quoted me. He's like,
4 days ago, only 4 days ago, I think. Was it?
This is more.
I can't hear the woman.
Yeah, this is the very first thing D does. Is his name DEDUZZ?
That's a crash.
This is the very first thing he posted to me. He quoted me. He's like, you know what? Let's put it this way. Why are there not very? Because the discussion was why aren't very many people of color earning Oscars or being in or whatever it is. But I was like, what? Let's put it this way: why are there not very many Asian in football? Why people are underrepresented in football? I also said Asian people are underrepresented in football, but he didn't quote my whole quote. Then he said the NFL is, and I was like, the NFL is racist against white people and Asian people. And I was like, I guess they must be racist. And then he said, you are clearly implying Asians are not good looking enough.
What?
I don't know.
I can't even. There's not any really point in saying anything about that, is there?
No.
I don't know.
I'm gonna upload a picture and telling this isn't exactly what and this isn't also. Now this maybe trigger some of you audiences, but it's something to consider. Something to consider.
Yep, there you go.
It's a picture of Harvey Weinstein.
Yep, there you go.
Yes, it is Harvey Weinstein.
I wonder how attractive he thinks Asian people are. But he goes on, he's like, because we all know why blacks dominate football and not whites or Asians, because they are physically stronger than both. So when you say getting the right people for the job, yes, you basically say Asians are not hot enough, or Asians can never be as popular as whites. You're denying it because you want to maintain moral high ground. I swear, everywhere I look, it's just another debater pretending he's neutral, But in reality, they all want to push their own agenda. And trust me, when people see long essays on YouTube, comments that tends to bore reading your BS, they stopped talking, not because you won most of the time, but because they had better things to do than your distorted comments. So I come back, and I was like, what? Where did I say Asians were not good-looking? I think there are many good-looking Asians. No, by getting the right people for the job, yes, acting skill, ability to play that particular role, because even if you're a good actor doesn't mean you are good at every role. Getting an actor that fits the director's vision. There also are not as many Asians as there are white people, and you have to wonder how many people of each race showed up for auditions. You have to factor that in. So if you're just going to put words in my mouth, you can fuck off. No one is forcing you to read my quote BS. Like, I like how he stays and, like, reads everything but complains about it.
I've got another point. I'm guessing as well, actually, when you're talking about big projects, you're going to have a casting. I mean, you see the CSA, like Billy Bo Bumpkin was a fucking CSA, and he's a member of what was it? Like, there's basically a casting guild. You got editors guilds, directors guilds, screenwriting guilds, and all that shit. So there's somebody whose whole job is to just pick what people are going to go into what roles. That's literally what they do.
And then you have an audition for the role.
Well, that's the thing. They've obviously their whole job is like, we're giving you this is the kind of thing we want. They may already, in other cases, of course, it might be a project for somebody. It's like, specifically, we've got Hugh Jackman in mind, or Hugh Jackman wants to do this. Let's make it happen. He's a big star, right? He'll bring in the punters and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But essentially, obviously, you got fuck knows how many other roles to fill, but they're going to be doing most of that job. Who they pick, can't say offhand, but I'm guessing you have to at least be a member of the Screen Actors Guild, and if not, it's Screen Actors Guild, SAG, isn't it? If not, I don't know how it works for foreign people as well. Like, if you're a British actor, because I would have thought, does that mean if you're going to Hollywood, you have to presumably you have to
I
sign
think
some
so.
sort of contracts? Because my whole understanding of the Screen Actors Guild is essentially a union for actors.
Yeah.
That's my basic understanding of these things. So just quite how that works, I'm not sure. But I presume that means there are, unless you're doing extras and stuff. And I only know this because a friend of mine ended up being an extra in, there was a 2005. It must be a film from 2004. I could look it up, but there's a film called Proof, which was Anthony Hopkins and what's her name, Gwyneth Paltrow, and it's called Proof, and it's basically about some mathematical genius. I can't remember the fucking whole story. It's about maths. It's called Proof, right? You can kind of put it together. It's got Anthony Hopkins. He was basically doing some extra shit because what they wanted, because they were near London and near my college, Imperial College, very well known for its mathematics and stuff, they decided, we'll get some proper math students in, all that sort of stuff. I don't know if it made that much of a fucking difference, the background extras, but that's what happened anyway. So I don't know what he had to do to get for those hoops, but obviously I'm gonna guess. I know he had to sign things like not various things to say, you're not gonna reveal what the fuck's going on, all that kind of shit. Even though it's a biopic, of course. I don't know, I'm assuming there's all kinds of legal stuff that goes on, and it could well be, quite easily, that you want someone, and then you can't actually get them for whatever legal obligations, right?
Yeah.
That's the nature of this. This is not just like, we're gonna get a video camera out and start shooting in our backyard sort of deal, right? People make or lose huge amounts of money on these things.
And then
whenever
there's a contract.
money around, there are a huge amount of lawyers around.
Yeah, very much so. Especially with the Hollywood. This isn't like your indie film or whatever.
No. Even then, it could be a problem. Because I mean, indie depends. Well, I guess
it depends how big the indie is, right?
We'll have to ask Tommy Wiseau on that one.
It depends how big the indie thing is, doesn't it? Because they might have, like, even though they've got an indie budget, it doesn't mean they've got like the same people could
Well,
be
see,
doing
some
the
of-
same
we-
job,
Oh,
right?
you wouldn't have the same pool of people. If you have less of a budget, you have even a smaller pool, and that even includes like a Hollywood film.
Well, you
Your
see, sometimes,
budget.
of course, you do see people who are like, either
It'll be a
they're already
passion
well known, but it's
project,
like,
and they're like,
I've
yeah, I'll
got a
do it for
project I wanna
free,
do, and it's
or
like,
yeah.
I like this movie, and it's like, oh, I like this thing. You get someone like Patrick Stewart, he goes, oh yes, I love this sort of thing, and he's going to
Yeah.
do it, but he's not going to like charge millions of dollars for it. He's going to do it, even just for nothing, basically, because he likes what they're
Yeah,
doing.
you can
That's
get
the
that.
sort
Yeah,
of
you can
luxury
get that sometime.
you can have. But even then, there's probably just like, well, actually, yeah, probably you'd have to do it for nothing, because like that,
The
some
rest of the
budget's
contract's
presumably
gonna
gonna
be.
go on certain contractual and legal stuff. Got to assume those sort of problems still come up. It's unfortunate we don't have anyone an insider on the industry who could, but then they probably wouldn't be allowed to say anything.
Nope, it'll be NDA'd and all that
Probably.
shit. So, but we can guess that
Well,
most of it
I did
is not
read, and I
racism.
even ended
It's
up
just
posting a couple links for this guy of casting process and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I ended up posting that for the guy because that's all I have that I
Yeah.
could have given. But I'll get to that. Point.
right,
So,
we can
back,
hurry this
he
up
comes
maybe.
back and he says, I could try it. He comes back. He's like, you imply something without saying it bluntly. People are not stupid. They know how to read between the lines. You don't have to bitch so much about it. And how do you measure acting skills, huh? Do you have? I know.
No, I'm doing the Tommy Wiseau. Huh?
Do you
That's
have
how
a
you measure.
definitive method of measuring a skill, and so that we can see that the choices indeed are better? And I never said that the choices, like, this is what confused. I never said the choices were better. I said that everything was subjective in the choices that they pick. It's not. It might not be better to you. It might be better to them. You know. He's like, of course you don't. So you don't even have a way to prove that. Like, I didn't say it, so I'm not sure why.
There's
what I
nothing
have
to do with.
prove.
Well,
Yeah, there's
it
nothing
seems to be
and
reading
like,
things you aren't writing.
yeah, he does that like the whole time. I like the way Nick put it. Nick said that it was like I was debating somebody, and then they turned and started debating somebody in another room. He said that's what it looked like here. So I like the way that he put that, because I was like, yeah, that's what it felt like. But anyway, so, you know, he was like saying that I have to have like this measure. My next post is like long, so I don't want to read the whole thing, but it's basically that. I was like, you're running off of like little to no evidence. I was like, you're right. We can't see why. We can't see if the choices were indeed better picks, because we don't know everybody that was in the pool of people for them to choose
Or even,
from. That
as
they
you
choose
say,
from.
obviously, whether they would be better. We don't
Yeah,
live in that
also-
alternate reality, so there's
Yeah.
no way to know.
Yeah, there's no way to. There's no
anyway-
way to know. And I didn't personally say that they are always the better pick. And I said before that it was very subjective to, you know, the director, the casting director, or whatever. Like, this is all very subjective, and I'm just putting out there other things than blatant racism.
Yeah, listen, I've got to end the YouTube thing, so
Yes. Okay, so we'll go
I'm
ahead.
gonna wrap that bit up, and then you can go on with this. Right, so by YouTube, just go to aerithradio.co.uk if you're tuning in. If you are, don't know. And then later on Tuesday, it'll be up on the website, like usual. If I don't forget, oh god damn it, I was busy, so I forgot last 2 weeks to put up. It's now up though, so as soon as I noticed my error, I sorted it out. Anyway, so like bye YouTubes. Everyone else want to say bye or not, or whatever? No.
Diddly bye.
There you go.
Bye.
There
Go
we
into
go.
the radio portion.
Yay.
That's where I get racist.
Yeah.
That's where we all get racist.
Yes. See us spew see us spew N-words, S-words, K-words, and the occasional nihilistic outlook and complete disregard of all arbitrary moral constructs.
Yeah, because
Also point out why the cat is a Scottish wildcat and that shit, or something like that.
yeah,
The most racism will be heading towards Scotland, is basically what I'm saying.
it usually is, and I don't care. Yeah, so YouTube won't ban us because we're going somewhere else.
Yes.
Basically.
That's the way it works.
Hope you get your shit together. Who am I kidding? You'll never get your shit together.
I don't want them to get their shit together. I want them to fail now, just outright.
Yeah, fuck them.
But they won't.
Let them lapse. I don't give a shit.
Right. So bye YouTube.